Hello, welcome to the morning news. Argentina's new minister sworn in, putting an end to a three-term under the Kirchners, who led the country back to stability in the wake of an economic meltdown in 2001. During his campaign, new president Mauricio Macri had promised to launch sweeping reforms from day one. He has vowed to end what he considers protectionist import restrictions, cut taxes on agricultural exports, and scrap the official exchange rate, puffing up the Argentine peso. But during the swearing-in ceremony, Macri eased his pace.
We received a vote, not only in the ballot boxes, but a vote of confidence. And that's why we asked you to be patient with us. Because being convinced that we're working for the people's well-being isn't a magical promise that things will be fixed from one day to the next.
Federico Pinedo, the man who will go down in history for being an interim president of Argentina for only half a day, due to a shameful arbitrary court ruling which ended outgoing President Cristina Fernandez's term 12 hours prematurely, handed over the presidency to Mauricio Macri at Argentina's presidential palace, the Pink House.
We must remove confrontation from center stage and replace it with harmony, development, and growth. Through irrational fights, nobody wins. Through consensus, we all win.
Mauricio Macri, the man who promised dialogue and consensus, got what he wanted. Cristina Fernandez, who made an exit from her two-term rule with an approval rating just short of 60%, out of the picture on his inauguration day.
This is what I want, that we can call and express ourselves freely in Argentina, that we can think differently, but are able to work together.
Even though the public's attendance was nowhere as high as was the case in the last two presidential inaugurations, the atmosphere around the presidential palace was one of celebration.
The outgoing government has left the economy in tatters. I hope the new government can undertake good measures in order to rearrange it.
We all know that things will not change overnight. We believe in a plan and structure adjustment plan. We will support these austerity measures because we are aware that if we tighten our belts, we will be able to move forward.
56-year-old businessman Mauricio Macri has become Argentina's president for the next 4 years. He faces an uphill battle.
His new government will be tested right down to the limit from very early. Beyond today's formalities and the party atmosphere you can see here behind me, tomorrow morning Mauricio Macri wakes up to the real problems that Argentines are facing, such as a spiralling and out-of-control surge in prices across the last few weeks, and also the currency devaluation his government has announced, which will undoubtedly erode the buying power of millions of Argentina's working class. From Buenos Aires, Leo Poblete, Telesur.
Hundreds of Venezuelans took to the streets on Thursday to express their support to the achievements gained during the Bolivarian Revolution. The crowd cheered leader Hugo Chávez's and Nicolás Maduro's names. They are convinced that they might have lost a battle on Sunday's elections, but revolution is not over yet. On his behalf, at the Committee of Congress, President Maduro emphasized the importance of addressing the country's current economic woes by proposing to hold a popular economic congress next Wednesday. Demonstrators said they are afraid of what might come now that the opposition dominates the National Assembly.
Because we want freedom, because we know what comes, repression is what's coming. They're going to take away our social benefits. That's what's coming to us. We don't want to lose that.
Former Panama's President Ricardo Martinelli has been stripped of his immunity in relation to an insider trading scandal. Martinelli left Panama in January and is believed to be in Miami. He's facing half a dozen corruption probes, including charges of embezzlement, espionage, taking bribes, and selling pardons. The multimillionaire supermarket tycoon is believed to be guilty of insider trading of shares of Canadian miner Petroquia while he was in office between 2009 and 2014. A joint team of Syria's political and armed opposition will meet with the government next month to seek a political solution to nearly 5 years of conflict. More than 100 members of Syria's opposition parties and fighting groups agreed in Riyadh to work together to prepare for peace talks with President Bashar al-Assad's government. A statement at the end of the two-day conference said that al-Assad should leave power at the start of a transitional period and call for an all-inclusive democratic civic state. It also committed to preserving state institutions. The meeting, however, included or excluded the self-named Islamic State group al-Nusra Front and the main Kurdish force controlling large parts of northern Syria. The insurgent group Akhar al-Sham also withdrew from the meeting. Meanwhile, over 1,000 Germans demonstrated in Hanover to protest the government's decision to send 1,200 troops and units of the Air Force to join the U.S.-led coalition in Syria. They gathered outside the city hall where a military parade was taking place on the same day that Germany said its first consignment of troops and Turkey's deployment. German parliament voted in favor of sending troops to support the Western-led coalition forces in their bid to tackle the self-named Islamic State group on December the 4th. Hundreds protested at Chicago's Federal Plaza against police brutality in the U.S. Demonstrators demanded the resignation of the mayor of the city, Remy Emanuel. Both the mayor and the police department came under fire on Monday after footage was released showing prisoner Philip Coleman being teasered and dragged by police while in his holding cell. Coleman died later at the hospital. On Wednesday, the mayor apologized for the death of 17-year-old Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times by white police officer Jason Van Dyke last year.
Now, they're supposed to be protecting our rights as citizens. Now, when you can have your life taken away by a racist, reckless police officer, and nothing is done about it, then your right as a citizen has been denied. Your right as a human being has been denied.
Honduran soccer player Arnold Peralta was shot to death in a mall parking lot as he entered his car Thursday. The 26-year-old midfielder played for Honduras' most popular club Olimpia and was in the national team. Previously, he had played for the Scottish club Rangers. Peralta was shot several times, but the assailants did not take any of his personal belongings. The murder occurred in a region where drug cartels operate. And we end our morning show with a hip-hop group in Zimbabwe. There is a helping unemployed youth to tackle their lives with optimism. The Elysian Dance group rehearses every day at lunchtime in the capital of Harare, where some economists put employment as high as 80%. The troupe earns occasional fees performing at corporate parties or civil events, but not enough to provide the dancers with a regular income. But Tencent gives its members a release from disappointment in their lives. More in this on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a good day.